Hey, imagine you're scrolling through a sea of gaming laptops, and you pause because the specs look insane, but you're also thinking, will this actually work for me, or am I just throwing money at a hype machine? I've been in that spot a lot, trying to balance the dream of a desktop-grade experience with the reality of a portable machine, and I know how easy it is to overpay for something that either underdelivers or just doesn't fit your routine. That's why I'm digging into the NIMO 17.3-inch large-screen gaming laptop, 2026 edition, before you decide whether it's worth the checkout click. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about who this laptop is really built for. If you're the type of gamer who spends evenings on titles that push graphics hard, think open-world shooters, sprawling RPGs, or fast-paced battle royales, and you also dabble in content creation or heavy multitasking, the NIMO's 8-core Ryzen 7 7735HS paired with Radeon 680M can actually keep up. The 64GB of DDR5 RAM and a 1TB PCIe4.0 SSD mean you won't be hitting a wall when you have several browser tabs, a video editor, and a game running side by side. On the other hand, if your gaming sessions are limited to indie titles, or you're mainly after a laptop for schoolwork and Netflix, you'll probably find cheaper options that deliver similar performance without the bulk. Now, the first thing you notice is the 17.3-inch screen. At that size, you get a noticeably immersive field of view, which is great for games that rely on visual depth, like open-world adventures or flight simulators. The display also claims desktop-grade vision, and in practical terms that translates to a decent color gamut and brightness that can handle both dark dungeons and bright outdoor scenes without washing out. When you fire up a game like Cyberpunk 2077, you'll appreciate the extra real estate for spotting enemies at the edges. However, the trade-off is weight and portability. At roughly 6 pounds and a footprint that rivals a small desktop monitor, it's not the kind of laptop you'll comfortably lug onto a coffee shop for a couple of hours. It's more of a bring-it-home, set-it-up on a desk type of machine. Heat and fan noise are the two biggest concerns with any high-performance laptop, and the NIMO is no exception. The Ryzen 7 7735HS is a power-hungry chip, and under sustained load, say, a marathon gaming session or a long rendering task, the internal thermals can climb fast. Users have reported that the fan ramps up noticeably, producing a whirring sound that can be a mild distraction, especially if you're streaming or recording gameplay. That said, the laptop does maintain decent temperatures under typical gaming loads, staying under the 85°C threshold most CPUs can handle. If you're sensitive to fan noise, consider using a cooling pad or keeping the machine on a hard surface to improve airflow. In a quiet room, the fan will be audible, but it won't be a full-blown roar that drowns out your own soundtrack. Keyboard feel is another real-world factor that often gets glossed over in spec sheets. The NIMO's Backlit keyboard uses a standard membrane layout, which feels solid enough for casual typing and fast key presses in games. The travel is a bit shallow compared to mechanical keys, so if you're a mechanic key enthusiast, you might notice the difference during long typing sessions. However, the lighting is uniform across the board, making it easier to locate keys in low-light environments, a nice perk for late-night raids. The gaming-style aesthetic is there, but the tactile experience leans more toward a conventional laptop. Battery life is a point where many gaming laptops fall short, and the NIMO is no different. With a 100W Type-C power delivery, it's built to pull energy fast, which is great for performance but means the battery drains quickly when you're pushing the GPU. Expect around 34 hours of mixed usage, some gaming, some browsing before you're hunting for a charger. If you plan to game primarily at home where power is readily available, that's fine. But if you need a machine that can last through a whole day of work and a couple of gaming sessions without plugging in, you'll want to look at laptops with larger battery packs or more power-efficient CPUs. One of the practical strengths of this model is its expansion flexibility. The 1TB PCIe4.0 SSD gives you a lot of room for game libraries, large media files, and project files. And because the laptop offers two full-function USB-C ports, you can daisy-chain external monitors or fast external drives without needing a dongle hub. If you already own a 4K monitor or a high-refresh external screen, you can plug it straight into the laptop and enjoy the same visual fidelity, which is great for competitive gaming where you might want a 144Hz external panel. The Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2 connectivity are also up-to-date, ensuring stable online connections even in crowded Wi-Fi environments, something that matters when you're in the middle of an online match and lag spikes could cost you a win. On the